You know that soul-crushing sound you hear when you pull up to Dairy Queen to the drive-thru to order your Blizzard and you hear,
"Can I take your order, please?"
and that person's voice sounds crunchier than the Oreo Blizzard that you're about to order, and you sit in your car wondering, why is this person shouting at me through their Janet Jackson Control era headset? This is not the experience that you want to create for your podcast listener when they press play on your episode. I'm Jen Eads, the head broad in charge at the Brassy Broadcasting Company, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your USB podcasting microphone so that this doesn't happen to your audience when they press play on your episode. But don't worry, I'm not going to throw a bunch of technical jargon at you. This is going to be so simple, even my fellow Gen Xers can do it. I'm going to show you where to adjust the volume level that you're hearing in your ears, where to adjust how much sound is coming from your microphone that's getting fed into your computer. That's where the distortion and the crunch happens. We're going to talk about how to set a good, solid recording level, where you want to place the microphone, and how far you should be from it. The very first thing that I recommend is that you wear headphones. They can be the in-ears, they can be the big over-the-ears, whatever you are most comfortable with. Keep in mind, you can't fix what you can't hear. So wear headphones. This is the Samsung Q2U microphone. I'll put a link to it in the description. This is one of my favorite USB microphones for under $100. It's tough to beat. Let's talk about the difference between volume versus gain. This is what I find confuses most of my clients. So to think about it in simple terms, volume is what you're hearing through your headphones, and gain is the amount of signal that is going from your microphone into your computer. And keep in mind that when you do adjust the gain, it is also going to get louder in your ears. We want to start by adjusting the gain before we get into volume. There are two buttons at the bottom of the Samsung Q2U microphone. This is not where you adjust the gain. You adjust your gain level in your computer settings. I'm going to show you how to do this on a MacBook Pro. If you're doing this on a PC, you can right-click on your sound icon, and that will open up your menu. Or you can also get there by going to Start, and then Settings, then System, then Sound. But here's what it looks like on my MacBook. We're going to click on the apple in the corner to get into our system settings. And then we're going to go into sound. We make sure the input is highlighted and that it's showing our Samsung Q2U microphone. And right here, it says input volume, but this is where we adjust the gain. And you can adjust that setting. You can hear me. It's getting less. We drag it to the right and you can hear more of my voice. I usually set it about 85 to 90%. You also want to look at this input level down here. This level is telling you how much of your voice is coming through. We're at a pretty good level right now. You don't want it to go all the way over here to the right. That's when you're going to get that clippy, crunchy, distorted noise. Next, we're going to check our output levels. So we click on output. I have my output set to my Samsung Q2U because I have my headphones plugged into the bottom of my microphone. So here is where we are going to adjust the output level. And this is only impacts what you're actually hearing through your headphones. And then down here we have the balance. If you like to have more sound coming out of one side or the other, or you want it just smack dab there in the middle, and that's where you make the adjustments for your gain and your volume. Remember these two buttons right here? These can be used to adjust the volume of what you're hearing in your ears. Now we're going to talk about where I actually have the microphone set up. You don't want to have the microphone directly in front of you. You want it off to the side a little bit, like maybe 30 to 45 degree angle. This helps prevent those plosive sounds, those poppy P's when you're speaking directly into the microphone. So you want to place it off to the side just a little bit. And usually start it maybe 6 inches away or so from your mouth, or do a little hang loose and get your distance there. You're going to want to move it around and experiment with it. Do some test recordings because it's going to sound a little bit different for everyone. You'll notice that if you get really close, it gives you kind of that fuller, boomier, traditional radio sound. When you're way back from it, it gets thinner, So move around and find your happy place with that. If you get really excited and you start to talk louder, lean back a little bit off the mic so that we don't get that distorted sound. Or if you have a big laugh, I have a big laugh. And sometimes I laugh really loudly. And when I do that, I need to back up off the mic a little bit so that, again, we don't get that crunchy, distorted sound because now we're super loud and we're leaning in. Ha 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 ha. Now it sounds really crunchy. That's no good. So if you're a big laugher, you're a loud talker, just lean back a little bit. You're going to sound great. One last thing before I go, because I really appreciate you sticking around. If you are noticing that you've got some static still and you've checked your input gain and all of your levels, but you're still getting like a static or a hiss, you might need to swap out your microphone cable. It's pretty common, they last for a while, but if you use it a lot, and especially if you travel with it and you're throwing it in a bag and you're winding up that cable, they do go out after a while. So if you're having trouble with your microphone, try swapping out your cable. I've also made a free video podcast recording checklist that is really helpful to go through before you press record because you don't want to forget one of those crucial steps. You can download it for free. The link is in the description. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel because I'm going to keep coming back in here with more podcasting tools and tips and how-to videos to help you make the podcast that puts you in the ears, heads, and hearts of your audience. You've got this.